Steven, I believe, has very good aerial options to approach into both Smith and Gizmo. And Morty is just generally disruptive enough on the ground to where Smith doesn't really get to play the ground jab game that he likes to play a lot of the time. So I'm curious to see what sort of adaptation we're going to be seeing from the red team here in order to make something happen.
Now we're going to go ahead and get ready for the first set. And going back to what you're saying about Morty having just more air options as well, I've seen Morty versus Gizmo and even be paired off with Gizmo before. And honestly, it feels like Morty stands out above, just able to prevent a lot of the utility from Gizmo being utilized. And with Agent Smith on the field, it's going to be... I imagine that we're going to just see Fozzie and Muah come in with a 3-0 sweep. If not, it's going to be 3-1 in my opinion. I still feel like Fozzie and Muah might be my personal favorites in the entire tournament bracket as we are starting off in this game one.
They're definitely the team to beat, and Agent Smith is definitely the character to watch to see if he can actually successfully make something happen here. Right now, we're not seeing that good of a start for the team in red. Greeeted and Oog already both taking 60% of damage just to start off the game. We have a bit of an opening from Oog, forcing them both off to the side, hits him with the throw, and the explosive card from Gizmo as well. Just the damage onto Steven. Just the snake shot off the top, though. I was going to say they evened up the percentage quite a bit, but that's a very early kill onto the Gizmo here. And very good first blood for the blue team.
And now Steven and Morty just sitting on top of each other, able to try to provide some kind of opportunity. Oog is actually in the danger zone at the moment and is in burnout as well. Doesn't have a lot of dodge left, but it's still able to get a push on Muah, Fozzie, trying to push him out onto the pitch, but onto the edge. And unfortunately not able to break through. Agent Smith with the up air, able to knock out Fozzie. Brings it 2-1 in favor of Oog and Greeeted.
I'm seeing something a little bit interesting right now. Greeeted and Oog making good use of the Gizmo dodge notes. For those not in the know, whenever Gizmo's teammate picks up the music notes, it makes their dodge a hitbox. Really good on grounded characters who like to have a jab as an opening because it means you can combo your dodge into a jab, which lets you have a lot more versatile ways of approaching in neutral, especially against like a double zoner comp like this where you kind of are forced to dodge into them regardless. So having the ability to make your dodge actually hit them is really, really important. Oog and Greeeted started this game off. They were so far behind, taking the first 200 damage, but they've actually built a bit of a lead for themselves. One really strong hit away from getting the kill on either player on blue. One more up tilt on Smith will probably kill both the players here. Or even as like a Sayer near the edge. She has a lot of options. Gizmo hits the umbrella, but Steven saves himself with the shield on the right side of the stage. That's the first kill right now. Now Muah playing for his life on the edge. Able to make it back with the help of the Steven shield, but he's at 170%. On the right side of the stage in burnout, they're actually deciding to beat up the Gizmo, the Steven instead. Not really wanting to try to hunt down the Morty right now, even though he's at 180. Greeeted trying to read a jump, and then the up air from the Gizmo finally catches the dodge in from Muah, and they do manage to catch him over in the corner to take game one with a huge comeback. They were actually so far down.
Yeah, Oog especially able to really focus in and just take advantage of the field. Able to basically prevent Muah from having a lot of utility, being able to control the field. And Osana, Fozzie, just trying to utilize the shield, utilize those dodge notes. It ended up causing more issues in the long run for the blue squad. Greeeted and Oog, really interesting comp and just nice strategy, focusing in on Steven, trying to prevent any kind of movement. Steven, even with the shield, not able to bring out any opportunities.
It feels weird to me that the adaptation that seems to be been made mid-game was actually just have our Gizmo go more aggressive. He was playing back at the start and it wasn't really working, and now he's just kind of running forward, not trying to let Steven and Morty set up a lot, just throwing out these like approaching up airs like we see right there, trade out the damage with the Steven, and now this chase from Oog, the up tilt up air catches the dodge with the gunshot upwards. This is the first stock in Muah. They're actually going so insane with the aggro Gizmo.
Aggro Gizmo really helping at the moment as we see another knockout. It looks like it's going to be Gizmo actually getting a little bit too aggro on that play, but still able to come in. We're going to see a chance for Oog to try to take down Morty, not able to do so on the edge. Edge guard from Fozzie not able to work out. And once again, we see Fozzie on the edge. It's going to get a deflection on Oog, who is down near burnout. Fozzie as well on burnout currently. Still trying to break through, able to take out Agent Smith. and brings this game back on the side of blue.
Oof, not a great start to this stock from Oog. He runs in, he presses an attack a little too early, he gets caught by a full charge Steven there, forces a ground balance, already at 80% when this stock started just a few seconds ago. And I mean, well, they have a lot of damage on the people on blue. They need to find one of these kills right now if they want to have a chance in this game. They do manage to find it onto Steven. Now they got to rack up more on him. The question is how are they going to do that? Greeeted loses his second stock of the game. It's like a 70% or so advantage for blue team right now. Oogs kind of has to just play slow. You just have to let your Greeeted win the 1v1 against the Steven. The question is, can he do it? Hits him with the forward air, catches the dodge in with an up air, but he's taking a lot of damage from the Morty in exchange. Dirt up air confirmed, missed from Muah. Oog has a little bit of extra life right now when he should have been dead. But now they have to beat up this Steven now. They throw him up with the up tilt, but this card misses. And I feel like that card needed to hit. That was your win condition right now. And they still have a chance. It's not over right now. Getting some damage onto both of them, forced them up. Steven is in burnout. 100% on him. Rose Bomb sends Greeeted over to the right. Oh, but they're both at such high percent right now. Steven gets caught by a jab, but he's going to lose his stock. Question is, how good can the Steven run away? He gets caught by the clone, but the attack follow-up misses. Steven hits he hits the gunshot, but he has the multi-gun. He doesn't have the single shot gunshot perk. And he's going to lose because of it. The second shot of the gun misses. And that's the strong one. Oh, they almost choked it. But it's just the gunshot dropping. That's what happens when you don't run the hand cannon perk. You don't get that strong single hit. You have a multi-hit. And if you're only hitting the edge of it like that, a multi-hit like that can drop.
I was wondering about the multi-shot because I saw it up on the top too. And I can imagine that maybe Oog will, if they have another opportunity, might look to see if they can get a bit more powerful of a shot. But still able to push that game so far, especially with that up tilt again in the very beginning, able to take that momentum forward. But what a recovery from both Fozzy and Muah, able to control as double not.
My prediction here is they're trying to go sky flat is the next stage. They set the game up as random between trophies and sky flat, and if you do that, it'll alternate between stages. If they run off like that, it means they probably want to go sky flat as their counter pick. So they're probably just trying to cycle back to it, yeah.
Okay. Now I understand. I got really confused for a second. I was like, are they just forfeiting?
Yeah, they're just cycling the stages without going back to the menu.
Understandable.
No, that does not count. I would love if it did, but it doesn't.
For folks wondering, we are talking to our voice of God, Nick NCS, who is our producer, taking care of the entire broadcast. Once again, thank you, Nick, for taking care of us. And another shout out to our sponsors, Hot Pockets, who are keeping us hot and ready with all the action going into Game 3 currently. It's tied 1-1 with Muah and Fozzy able to get that comeback, and now we're going into Game 3, hoping to see Greeeted and Oog with the bounce back trying to lock down Fozzy.
It's interesting how much, I mean, they're taking so much damage off the start of this game. Double up air from Muah coming out, putting so much burn damage onto Oog. Fozzy also just winning his 1v1 versus Greeeted. And now the question is are they going to be able to chase these all the way to a kill? Fozzy reads a jump in the top last zone, but Smith's got a little bit of weight to him, so he isn't dead off of that. Right now, blue team is just, I mean, they're just maintaining the percent lead right now. Oog forced to come in with something aggressive. Spide special to make a little bit of space. I mean, he's doing a pretty good job at it, but they're both at so close to death percent right here. The Steven Sarah is going to be able to catch him. Nair forces off Gizmo to the side as well. He gets a little bit too greedy and actually puts himself in burnout. Morty has the rewind out, so he isn't going to lose his stock for that.
Yeah, at least with that magnet able to come back in towards Muah, it's going to provide the chance for them to take it back. But Oog, now with that forward momentum, is going to try and take that fight to him. Instead, we'll see Muah getting dropped on the edge as Greeeted is covering behind Agent Smith. Oog trying to take down Steven. Greeeted will get caught with the up air and be knocked out. It's going to be 2-2 in the stocks.
Basically even game so far. Oog and Fozzy both at the higher percent here. Fozzy does lose his life. Now the question is who are they going to alternate for? You can't play too far back here if you're Muah, because that just means your Steven will get 2v1'd. Dude, the spacing from Oog. He's just standing there waiting for Steven to whip that Nair. Alright, they do manage to find the kill on him right now, but are they going to be able to beat up this Gizmo before the Smith comes back? And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. Oh, but off the shield, these dares from Fozzy, they're racking up a lot of damage. 100 damage on Greeeted, but 100 damage on the Steven as well. The question is who will go down first. You can't kill Gizmo while he's backpacked onto his teammate, but they do manage to break it. Everyone getting close to kill percent right now. Down air coming out from Smith, racking up a lot of damage, but the watermelon Steven on the right side of the stage, setting up for the kill. Punts Greeeted over to the left side, right into the sweet spot up air from Steven. Just the watermelon, the NPC on the ground. You got to watch for that. You got to watch for that. They just ignored it. He got a hit on him.
Honestly, have Nappa and Dragon Ball FighterZ, but I was actually going to ask, like, do any of these characters have a double knockout potential like we saw with Tom and Jerry, Iron Giant, any of these kind of options? And it feels like Fozzie had that opportunity, especially with the watermelon Steven able to take out Greeeted and then forcing Oog out of the play as well.
Mm-hmm. It was just so nice from him. I thought he was actually going crazy that game. I wouldn't be shocked if he did over 300 damage. He got so many landing nairs into big confirms, into tech chases, hit the double ground bounce on people with that the landing nair spike into like a dare or a surfboard, forcing them back into the ground, get a tech chase, something like that. And he's been finding these all game, all set, really. It's on Greeeted and Oog to make something happen right here in this game 4. They're down 1. What are they going to do to change it up?
Well, currently they're going to take a ton of damage, combined 130 at this point in time, while Greeeted and Oog are still able to keep the focus on them, trying to find a moment. Able to get a knockout on Steven. Fozzie is going to come back in, try to provide some help for Muah, but Oog able to isolate the fight, forcing Fozzie to take down Greeeted, but not able to find that space. Up tilt from Oog won't be enough to take out Muah, who's on the edge once again, trying to force out Greeeted and Oog.
It's a pretty solid lead so far for the red team, so long as they don't get too stuck over on the edge right now, but this is a scary spot to be in. You got to get past that dirt from Morty, because that will confirm into the up air for a kill, and then Muah, once again, just catching the dodges in the top left zone. He does lose his stock, but he does trade it out for both the people on red, so what was a deficit is now only a slightly losing position for both of them. Hits him with a nade, air explosion. Muah going kind of crazy right now in the terms of damage he's outputting. But the question is can they kill both these people on red before he takes too much damage? Greeeded's trying to rack up a bit of damage on him right now. Muah ran off stage, ran out of B moves, and kind of just dies on nothing. I don't really know what the plan was there.
Reset, hope for momentum shift in their favor. Try to take it back in a double knockout. Ideally, Oog is pretty up there at the moment, but Greeeted has been able to dodge so much damage at the moment, trying to keep focus, but that's going to be a 3-3. Oog getting knocked out. It's going to go down to either they take out Fozzie or they take out Greeeted. So far, favor in red team, as that's going to put it 2-2 now with that knockout on Steven.
I'm curious as to what happened there with Muah. He kind of just walked off stage and died at 30. I don't know if he walked off and used 2 B moves without intending to. I don't know if it was a controller issue for a second. Either way, that is a game for Greeeted and Nuga on the board. You'll take that if you want to advance in this tournament. There's a lot of money on the line. If my opponent walks off mid-game, I'm taking the game.
I would hope so. That'd be money on the table if you just allowed your opponents to come back after such a fatal error. I imagine it might have been a controller DC at this point in time. That's the only justification I can really think about with the double B move. But now going into it, it's going to be 2-2. We're going to have a tight matchup between red and blue, and Oog is taking the most damage out of the lobby at the moment.
He was taking the most to start off the game, but a couple side specials across the stage into the Steven will even up the damage count. Right now, Muah getting a big opening onto Greeeted off of the UFO, a couple stairs on him. He's the only one who hasn't really taken too much damage right now, but you got to be careful. If you're Fozzie, you don't want to be the first person to lose your stock here. Muah doing a good job of keeping his teammate alive from that kill confirm. Steven's still holding on at 130%, but he is pretty much one opening away from death, and there's the up tilt off of the clone throw from Oog, forces him off stage with the up tilt grab. He grabs him through the Steven bubble. That breaks armor. And I mean, what would have been a protection from Steven? Oog's just ready for it. Just kills him off the side at 60.
Incredible vision from Oog, able to take advantage of that moment as well. And one thing I do want to call out is Fozzie whiffed as soon as he got grabbed by that agent. But back in the favor, it's still 2-2. Greeeted getting knocked out on that play. Still with the armor, tries to come in close on Muah. Instead, Fozzie is focusing on Greeeted, trying to take him out. Oog, side combo on both Muah and Fozzie. Fozzie with the space, going to try and jump down on them. Can't find a moment. Looking in the favor of blue at this moment in time.
Right. Muah's doing a good job right now and not taking that much damage. He is going to be the stock tank in this game. The snake shot catches Oog jumping over the shield, getting a little too overzealous, and then just the dirt into comp knockback stack. Muah pops him over to the right. The knockback stack between Morty up air, Steven forward air, just kills him off the side. And I mean, it was just a little bit too much greed, that last stock from both Oog and Greeeted. Oog getting sniped by the snake shot off the top, losing his stock at 80. Greeeted trying to force something when he should be the last person staying alive. Just gets caught by a dirt and killed for it. There's just too much aggression at the end.
I do love that game 2, game 3 switch up where Greeeted was starting to play more aggressive, really trying to get in the mix the entire time against Fozzy and Muah, but sadly just could not really make that much of a difference going into game 5, especially just getting caught out so often by being overly aggressive. And honestly, well-timed use of the NPC from Fozzy, just able to add a little bit extra variable on the arena, forcing Greeeted and Oog to have to be really aware and sadly just not able to lock in, especially at that last moment.